two teams, they have a history between each other, and we'll discuss that later on. Of course, the Lady Air Defenders, they want to have a sorry start here in this tournament. Meanwhile, the Taguig Generals want to continue their winning ways after their good performance a week ago. All right. And of course, the team on your screen right now, this is a team that is making an introduction. The Lady Air Defenders, their lineup is on the screen right now. Of course, a lot of familiar names if you follow the UAP and the collegiate scene. Of course, their head coach, former UE-led Warrior point guard Alvin Zuniga. And of course, one of the players to watch out for the Lady Air Defenders, no other than Ambi Almazan, who you saw earlier. Of course, Ambi is a former national player. As we see the comparative statistics from the game last week, of course, the first game of the 2022 WNBL held in Lucena City, the Lady Generals limiting the Lady Spartan, the Stan Quezon Lady Spartan, to only 2 points in the third period, and that's why they ran away with the win, 65-49. Of course, great shooting, control of the boards, teamwork. You know, one big factor in that game was Snow Peñaranda. Snow Peñaranda continuing from where she left off last season for the Pacific Water Queens. Of course, Snow Peñaranda like numbers, 17 points, 8 rebounds. And before anything else, we turn you over to our Coliseum announcer to introduce the starting lineups.
This is the 2022 WNBL season. The game on hand features the PSI Lady Air Defenders versus the Taguig City Lady Generals. Let's meet the starting five for the Lady Air Defenders. Number 7, Fria Bernardo. Number 12, Cindy Resultay. Number 16, Christine Abraham. Number 18, Karen Columna. Number 20, Raisa Paig. Head coach, Alvin Zuniga. Let's meet the starting five for the Taguig City Lady Generals. Wearing jersey number 4, playing center, April Siat. Number 30, Wiz Duazo. Wearing jersey number 10, AJ Gloriani. Wearing jersey number 7, playing guard, Janet Season. And wearing jersey number 1, Gemma Miranda. Head coach, Mark Robin Lucena. The referees for this game is Alvin Sarmiento.
Hello. All right. All right, there you have it. The starting lineups on your screen right now. We can see that Coach Robin Lucero is starting with the players who played very well last time out. Meanwhile, this is going to be our first look at the PSI Air Force lady in the yellow and black shirts. So it's going to be, all right, we are about to go underway here at Bulacan, and first tap is won by the Lady Air Defenders, but they step on the line. So first turnover by Fria Bernardo. So now the Taguig Lady Generals will set. Duazo receives, and this early a pressure defense applied by the Air Force. Siat, jumper, and no. Okay, first rebound, of course, by Resultay, and we're going to say her name a lot. Of course, Cindy Resultay, a standout from the UAP. Columna dumps it to the post. Turn around, good first basket, 2-0. So So Resulta, after that rebound, she scores the first 2 points of the game. Miranda pops out. And Gemma Miranda should be very familiar with the Air Force. Of course, she used to play for the Air Force. Meanwhile, battle underneath. And Miranda saying, hey, do you remember me? I used to be your teammate. Yes, she was the finals MVP when Air Force won the first ever WNBL way back in 2019. Of course, WNBL was still an amateur league back then. Miranda, the finals MVP. Air Force won that series over Taguig. Here it is again. Look at Gemma Miranda just muscling her way underneath, just grabbing the ball for the unmolested 2. Meanwhile, ball tap is won by Miranda. So right now, Miranda all over the floor. And no wonder last game, no Snow Peñaranda. We featured her. Meanwhile, April Siat joins the scoring fray. Well, we talk a lot about Snow Peñaranda, but of course, we remember that Gemma Miranda was the Surge Fitness best player because of her all-around numbers, not just in points. She did a little bit of everything. Points, rebounds, assists, defense. Meanwhile, Miranda against 3 defenders and is fouled. So this early we can say Gemma Miranda is on a mission. Now she wants to show her former teammates her worth. Well, I guess that is good motivation today for Miranda. Of course, Gemma Miranda is also a member of the national training pool for the upcoming Southeast Asian Games this May. Congratulations, Gemma. Meanwhile, Ambi Almazan will check in. Of course, Almazan, one of the tallest players here in the WNBL at 5'11". Also a former national player, Ambi Almazan. Almazan, her first touch. And well read by Duazo. Duazo ignites the fast break. Duazo whips it to Miranda. Miranda will attack against the defense. And Duazo out of nowhere, she loses control and the ball will go the way of the Air Force. The Lady Air Defenders. It's like they're saying that they're here to reclaim what was once theirs. The trophy way back in 2019. Bernardo against Gloriani. For a teammate, they give it to Almazan against Siat. Good matchup. Jumper from 17, no good. Rebound is won by, and the ball will go out of bounds. Mental lapse on the part of the Lady Generals. So we can see now more constant substitutions here for Coach Zuniga, keeping fresh legs on the floor. Take a look at it again. Here's the battle underneath. Well, yeah, 2 white shirts contesting it. They could not control it. So here's the reset play. This time the rebound is won by Miranda. I think she has at least 3 rebounds by now. Floater. And don't look now, it's an 8-2 lead for the Generals. 3-pointer. Bounces off the rim. And Miranda saves it. So Miranda is really all over the floor right now. Miranda will survey. Instead, she will attack. Gives it to Siat. Siat. No good. Miranda, her 4th rebound. Miranda forcing the shot. But Duazo is there. Duazo still battling for it. Finally won by the Air Force. Quickly. Oh, good pass. Good pass, but too deep. And a trail job by Almazan. And Almazan asserting her presence underneath. Here's the break. Good touch pass, but the attempt was too deep. But Almazan with a good trail job. And with that, we have a timeout called by Coach Alvin Zuniga. We'll be back for more of the 2022 WNBL. Stay there, please. These are the numbers of Gemma Miranda from last weekend against the Stan Quezon Lady Spartans. Of course, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Good all-around numbers for Gemma Miranda. That's why they looked beyond the point. So Gemma Miranda was not the highest pointer, but look at her stats today. 4 points and 5 rebounds. She's really on pace to exceed her opening day numbers. We're talking about Gemma Miranda. Last game, you said she was not the highest pointer. It was Snow Peñaranda, but she was chosen as a Surge Fitness best player because of her all-around contributions. All right, Miranda pops out. Miranda, look for a teammate. Hey, don't look now. Only 2 points separating these two teams. 8-6. So 4 straight points here for the Air Force. Miranda using the screen. Season pops out. Season will fire from 16 feet. Yes! And they really needed that. Of course, the momentum slowly shifting the way of the Lady Air defenders. All right, Bernardo. 3 on the way. No. Another rebound by Miranda. She has at least 7 rebounds by now. And we're just halfway through the first quarter. Yep, we've just passed the 5-minute mark. Season. It's too far. Shot clock is down to 10. Duazo sets up the screen. Season for 3. Offline. And last touch on Siat. Take a look at it again. A lucky play there. Of course, it was a broken play, and Almazan was at the right place at the right time. Meanwhile, Season answers back. Sort of cools the rally of Air Force. But Air Force now in possession. Bernardo. Shot clock down to 10. Back to Almazan. Series of moves trying to shake off the defense. But then again, the tight defense of Taguig working wonders. But not this time. As Bernardo enters the scoring act. Meanwhile, jumper on the way. Yes. Mary Joy Galicia announcing her presence with that basket. She's one of the first substitutes for Taguig. Meanwhile, Galicia with a rebound. And look at the double team on the ball carrier in the backcourt. Peñaranda is in the game. And this should spice up things. Peñaranda to Del Carmen. And another rebound for Almazan. Alright, Air Force on the attack. He will do the half-court set. Almazan for 3. Good line though. Alright, Del Carmen, another member of our Southeast Asian Games training pool. Peñaranda, too strong. Alright, Bernardo's running. Bernard's ahead of her teammates. She will apply the brakes. Up, foul from behind. That's a clear foul, and Galicia quick to admit her fault. First foul on Galicia, second team foul on Taguig. Shooting foul, so that means 2 free throws for Ana Lehina Buendia. First one is no good. Of course, Buendia, one of several returnees from that championship team, as you see on your screens, Coach Alvin Zuniga. So second one is good. One more for Buendia. She was fouled attempting a 3-point shot. Meanwhile, Karen Columna and Diana Pagatpat will check in for the first time. So you can now see that both coaches, Coach Zuniga, Coach Lucena, are really squeezing the most out of their benches. So you need that, especially with the way they play defense. I mean, this is a very tiring defense that they're applying. You have to be physically fit to play defense like that. Alright, Almazan fouls Peñaranda. This should be a good matchup. Veteran smarts of Almazan versus the youth of Peñaranda. Okay, first pass is good for Snow. For Snow with 17 points last time. in their demolition job on the Lady Spartan, but an air ball by Peñaranda. Referee says you have to inbound from the side, not the baseline. All right. So Almazan will do the honors. And this is another good matchup. Two former national players, Duwalhati and Almazan. Two veterans among the more senior players here in the WNBL. Oh, good bunny hop and a block, but a foul. Second one on Galicia. So Galicia is the first player with 2 fouls on Taguig. 2 quick fouls for Galicia. So let's see if Coach Lucena will do something about that. Meanwhile, Jesusa Avila at the line. First one is no good. Season for Glutagens. And now they apply pressure at the backcourt. And a steal by Luwalhati. But a counter steal by Almazan. All right, shot clock down to 18. Long bomb. No. All right, Generals on the run. Claro bouncing to the cutter. Yes. And good recognition by Claro to the cutting Mary Joy Galicia. So right now, no sign from Coach Lucena that he will replace the foul beleaguered Mary Joy. Long bomb. Yes. Avila with the long bomb. Lead is now to 4. Taguig still on top, 17-13. Peñaranda double teamed. They whip inside and a good read by Pagatpat. But they were not looking. A turnover, Galicia with 4 points. So Galicia, after picking up 2 fouls, making up with 4 points. Fouled by Del Carmen. Here's again, look at this long bomb. Strafing operations here by the Air Force. But look at that, Galicia with the answer. All right, 16 on the shot clock. Big sideline inbound for the Air Force. Bernardo has it. She will ask for somebody to come closer. But again, the airtight defense of Taguig at work. A block! It's with Peñaranda. All right, Luwalhati to Peñaranda. Peñaranda still, but a steal completed. It's with Avila. All right, Bernardo. Resultay is fouled on her way to the basket. And Resultay looks a little hurt. Hope she's okay. Yep, she picks herself up. So 2 free throws coming here for Cindy Resultay. Hoping to inch closer. We have 30 seconds left before we call a first quarter. And a very event-filled first quarter. A nice scoring pace by both teams. But the Sultai, as we speak, this is their first. Take a look at the reserves of the Air Force. Meanwhile, Angelica Ortega will report for the first time. Number 28. Del Carmen, met by Ortega. Del Carmen inching closer. Del Carmen explodes for the 2. And great first step there by Del Carmen, just catching her opponent flat-footed. Ortega. Bernardo. Double. And they quickly cover a block by Luwalhati. And referee signal Air Force ball. So 6.2 seconds left. We have no more shot clock. Possible last basket here for the Air Force. Maybe they can have the last say, carry the momentum into the second. Let's see. Handoff. Bernardo, no. Battle for it. Well, we have a whistle, but the horn sounds. The referee says quarter's over. So our score after 10 minutes, it's 21-14. Let's take a look at some highlights. Look at the Claro with the 2 points. Of course, Air Force. And then the explosive move to the basket by Del Carmen. Taguig on top, 21-14. We'll be back with the second period. Stay with us for more of the WNBL. WNBL. 100% absolutely free. So you can come here and watch the WNBL and later on the NBL. Hey, the Bulacan Republicans have a game today. Support your Republicans. Second quarter is officially underway. All right, so first possession with the Air Force, hoping to come back from this 21-14 lead of Taguig. Ortega, power move, but well read by the defense. And we have a jump ball, so referee says it's gonna be... Oh! No, it's a foul on Peñaranda. So first foul on Snow. We thought we had a jump ball there, so it's gonna be a foul. Sideline inbound for the Air Force. And let's crunch some numbers from that first quarter. Of course, we take a look at the shooting percentages. Good clip from Taguig. They are shooting 47.4% from the field compared to only 29.4% for the Air Force. Rebounds, well, slight edge for the Air Force, 13-11. But look at the battle underneath. I mean, getting it on the face. I mean, April Luwalhati is, one of the strongest players here in the WNBL. Of course, a grizzled veteran, April Luwalhati, from the Lyceum of the Philippines University. Also a long-time member of the national team. All right, Air Force. Still no score. We played a minute. And still no score. Score remains at 21-14. That was our score at the end of the first quarter. Of course, the leading scorers in the game so far, we have Gemma Miranda. Speaking of Gemma Miranda, she's the leading scorer with 4 points. Oh, wait. Mary Joy Galicia has 6 points. Miranda's 4 points and 6. Yes, she has 6 rebounds in the first quarter alone. And she did those 6 rebounds in only, take note, 5.5 minutes of play. All right, she did not even play the whole first quarter. On the part of Air Force, their leading scorer with only 4 points is Ambi Almazan with 4. And she's followed by Jesus Avila with that 3-point shot. Oh, speaking of 3-point shots, finally, Air Force making the silence here in the second quarter with that 3-point shot by Buendia. Hey, don't look now. Lead us down to 4. Take that in again. Here's that 3-point shot. Defense was a second late in covering. And Buendia with that cold-blooded 3. And that's only the second 3-point shot for Air Force in this game. Meanwhile, Luwalhati shows her range. And that's the first points for Taguig here in the second. After almost 2 minutes. Ventula is also in the game for the first time. Stephanie Ventula, a transfer from the Parañaque Lady Aces, the champion Lady Aces. Oh, block! But still with the Air Force, good cut! But a bad layup And a double dribble. Oh, good defense there. Good defense by the Air Force, forcing the dribbling violation. So after that rapid scoring pace in the first quarter, the scoring has definitely slowed down here in the second. As we see the entry of another new player for the Air Force, Taguig, coming in for the first time. Meanwhile, Gloriani will return. She was part of the starting five. She will return to replace Camille Claro. So a LaSalle Lady Archer replacing a LaSalle Lady Archer, like for like. And this suddenly slow down second quarter. Peñaranda, kick out, Gloriani, quick release, air ball, and Ventura was not ready to save it. The ball goes out of bounds in favor of Air Force. Yeah, you see on your screen, Coach Mark Robin Lucena. Coach Lucena, of course, replacing Nixon Ramos. And Coach Ramos is now concentrating with the Taguig Generals as one of the assistants of Coach Bing Victoria. Almazan, baseline, reverse! Oh, that's a move. And Almazan showing the stuff that earned her a national team call-up some years ago. Of course, Almazan would love to play again for the national team if given the chance. So all these players, you know, when the national team is called, Almazan finds a teammate. But again, good defense by Taguig. And a good steal. Great read. Ventura will attack, and we have an offensive foul. Yes. You know, Siat tried to clear some space for the driving Ventura. Gloriani crossing the half court. Met early by the defense. Siat sees the opening. No good. And Air Force, no, Del Carmen was all alone to battle for the rebound. Good bounce out by the Air Force. But they cannot complete the layup. Oh, another counter steal by Taguig. To the corner, Del Carmen all day. No. And Air Force will slow it down a bit. Shot clock winding down to 15. Again, good defense here by Taguig. 3 on the way, no. And ball will go the way of Taguig according to our referees. Felisarta will check in for the first time. On the shot clock here for Air Force. Again, they double at the post. Somebody's open. And the attack, it's short. So again, I'll repeat the stats from the first quarter. Air Force shooting 5 out of 17. That's 29.4%. So they have to do something about that. Meanwhile, 3 on the way, no. Triggers a fast break. Air Force on the run, up. Too deep. Block. Felisarta will attack against 3 defenders. No. And Air Force controls. Pagatpat. Quickly. Look at the 3-point shooting. And the Lady Air defenders with better 3-point shooting here in the game, but again, it's still a 5-point lead for Taguig. Of course, the thing here is Taguig is taking the high percentage shots like that one by Miranda, and we'll discuss Meanwhile, here's that three, their second three of the game. And we'll discuss more of that after this commercial break. Stay with us for more of your WNBL. All right, there you have it. The words of Carla Manuel of the Taguig Lady Generals on why she enjoys playing in the WNBL. Of course, I am proud of Carla because she is the niece of my friend Rodel Manuel, who, of course, if you know, used to play basketball for the UE Warriors in the UAAP. And speaking of Rodel Manuel, he was a teammate of Coach Alvin Zuniga of the Air Force. So you can see that basketball is a small world, that everybody's connected in some way. Meanwhile, Siat, yes! It's still March, but April is in full bloom for Taguig. Hey, don't look now. Today is March 19. Before you know it, we're already in April. How fast time flies, huh? 28-22 after that basket by April. And we have a held ball. So let's see, possession. We have a jump ball at the closest circle. Of course, again, to remind our viewers, in case of a leather lock, we do not use the possession arrow. We will use a jump ball. Okay, so it's going to be Miranda against... that's Miranda against Avila. And the ball is won by the Air Force. Jumper, offline. Rebound. Another rebound, but this time Siat takes it away. Ventura, quickly to Miranda. They are feeding Miranda. They know she's hot, but I guess a little too hot in this sequence as Miranda is assessed an offensive foul. And Coach Lucena, together with Coach Big Victoria, could not believe it. Was Coach Big Victoria on the bench in his capacity as team governor of the Lady Generals. Of course, we will see Coach Victoria and the Taguig Generals later on. They will be playing the Laguna Pistons in our main game at about 6 o'clock Philippine time. So hope you could join us for that. Got a whole day of basketball here in Malolos. Almazan. Series of moves. Too strong. Rebound by Kapilit. Well, we haven't heard much from Team Kapilit. Miranda. We have a whistle. We have an early foul. Basket will not count. And the foul is on Avila. Take a look at it again. Yes, very clear. Miranda was not in the position to launch a shot. It was an early foul. All right, Ventura will do the inbound. Kapilit pops out. Kapilit to Miranda. Miranda for... Miranda will wait for her teammates. Kapilit asking for a clear out. Kapilit to Felisarta. Felisarta. That was traveling. That was traveling. She planted her pivot foot and she lifted her pivot foot. Meanwhile, Camille Clara will check back in. Also, Duazo will return. And we really have a look at the size despite between Kapilit and the Air Force, her counterparts in Air Force. Air Force on the attack. No. The percentages of Air Force are really going down in this second, but they have a steal. Too deep. Extra pass. They force it. And again, Air Force, though their shooting percentage is going down because they are really missing those point-blank shots. And they turn the ball over. Meanwhile, Coach Lucena will call a timeout and we'll be back. As you see the facade of the Bulacan Capital Gymnasium, you are watching the 2022 WNBL. We'll be back. Alright, you see on your screens the Air Force Lady Air Defenders, Coach Alvin Zuniga ending that powwow, hoping to fire up his team with 1 minute left in the first half. And the score is 28-21. So you can say that both teams have scored only 7 points each here in the second quarter. A big contrast from that first quarter, which ended 21-14. Duazo. And a double dribble on Duazo. Good defense there. Good defense there by the Air Force. Of course, good defense there by Avila. Long bomb still does not go for the Air Force. Kapilit is blocked. Her pass is well read. But they keep it on their side. Taguig. Ventura could not control and she dribbles on her foot. You also see a shot there of assistant coach Christopher Villamayor, who used to coach another team in the NBL. Some years back, he used to be the coach of Zamboanga. Meanwhile, they want to touch. They want to have that Spalding basketball. Of course, Spalding is the official basketball of the WNBL. Another, good interception. Avila, one-hander. And again, another point-blank miss. No, we cannot wait to see the stats. Oh, steal here by Almazan, but again, another point-blank miss. Let's see, that will not count if it went in. So at the horn, we have our score, 20-21. No change, still a 7-point lead for Taguig. Of course, a big factor there, Gemma Miranda. Really playing inspired today. Meanwhile, Air Force stay. WNBL, 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 WNBL. Tuwing na bayan ka, kapalihan na tayo lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL. Tuwing na bayan ka, kapalihan na tayo lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL. Tuwing na bayan ka, kapalihan na tayo lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL. WNBL, 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 WNBL. Tuwing na bayan ka, kapalihan na tayo lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL. WNBL, WNBL, WNBL.
WNBL, 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 Tuwing na bayan ka, pabalihan na nalang lumaban. WNBL, 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 Tuwing na bayan ka, pabalihan na nalang lumaban. WNBL, 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 Tuwing na bayan ka, pabalihan na nalang lumaban. WNBL, 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 bayan ka, pabalihan UNBL. Bayan UNBL, WNBL, 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 Tuwing na bayan ka, pabalihan na nalang lumaban. WNBL, 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 Tuwing na bayan ka, pabalihan na nalang lumaban. WNBL, 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 Tuwing na bayan ka, pabalihan na nalang lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL.
Gig at the early goings, of course, 21-14. Big part of that was because of Gemma Miranda. Of course, Gemma Miranda continuing her good form in the second quarter. But in the second quarter, you can say the scoring pace went down, and Air Force able to stay in the game with 3-point shooting. Meanwhile, April Siat barreling her way through. Actually, in that second half, both teams scored 7 points each. That's why not much. Still a 7-point lead for Taguig, 28-21. Okay, look at this. The shooting clip of Air Force really went down in that second half. Again, they missed a lot of layups, point-blank shots, but they get the rebounds. But again, it's related to this. They get the offensive rebounds, but they cannot put in the close-range shots. Of course, Taguig, better teamwork, 10-5 as far as assists is concerned. Of course, with Taguig, smooth running game. Maybe you can say they're a little bit younger. That's why they want to run. Of course, our leading scorers, Ambi Almazan, 6 points. Buendia, Resultay with 4 points each. Meanwhile, it has been all Miranda and with support from Galicia, Siat, and Season. So that's why that sets the stage for our second half. Of course, you see on your screen, that's Coach Alvin Zuniga mapping out instructions for the Lady Air Defenders. Meanwhile, Coach Robin Lucena hoping that the Lady Generals can continue their good play. As he confers, there's on your screen Coach Zuniga. Of course, you know, I've known Coach Zuniga. He also used to coach the City University of Pasay in the NASCU. Okay, so we have a few issues here. They're just fixing the game clock before we start the second half. Of course, we are playing 4 10-minute periods. In the NBL, they play 12 minutes. Okay, they're just adjusting the game clock. Okay, we have an issue. So again, look at the numbers again. We said that Gemma Miranda, the former Air Force player, now with Taguig, 6 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists in, get this, only 10 minutes of action. So she did not play the entire first half. In fact, you can even say she played half of the first half, and yet she churned out 6 points and 8 rebounds. So I guess this should more or less, you know, all right. They're just still all right. Clock is okay. We're talking about, you know, why she was chosen the best player. Again, it's the total impact of her points. Meanwhile, Columna give it to Almazan. Almazan has 6 points to lead the way for the Air Force. Again, the airtight defense of Taguig working early. Air Force unable to put up a shot, down to 7. And rebound is with Duazo. And the hustle continues. We have a held ball, so it's going to be a jump ball between Duazo and either Resultay or Almazan. Where we signal the jump ball. So it's going to be Duazo against and it's tapped to the Air Force. Resultay, no, and Siat clears the rebound. All right, Gloriani. Again, I have no complaint. The Air Force is playing good defense. All they have to do is score. Okay. 9 points now for Gemma. So she has 9 points and 8 rebounds, on pace for a double-double. Columna, no. All right, that's the 9th rebound. So 9 points and 9 rebounds now for Gemma Miranda. And out of bounds in favor of the Air Force. So no score yet for the Air Force after over a minute of play. I think the slow scoring pace has been carried on into the third quarter. Resultay having trouble finding a teammate. Ball is too far. Shot clock is down to 3. Bernardo hits the rim, but they keep it alive. Fresh shot clock here. And now Air Force will reset. Oh no, look, good cut! Good cut and a good finish by Bernardo. And again, that's the effect of a team being together for so long a time. Like what Coach Zuniga told me, they have been together for at least 6 years. So the core of this team, the veterans, have been in service for 6 years. And that's their advantage over Taguig. Meanwhile, a steal by Miranda. Miranda! Yes! 11 points now for Gemma, and she can add to her total with this trip to the line. Here it is again. Look at the good defense of Miranda. Defense leading to good offense. And a possible bonus coming for Gemma. I can say, you know, Gemma is really motivated today. She is motivated with a capital M. And she completes the bonus. Hey, don't look, now it's the first double-digit lead in this game, up to 34-23. Of course, before that, the biggest lead was 8 by Taguig. That was 26-18 early in the second quarter. But now it's an 11-point lead for the Lady Generals. And the foul is called. Of course, on the part of Taguig, they are demanding that it's traveling. But the referees will not change their call. The foul will be on Duazo. Meanwhile, Paig will return to replace Avila. All right, Bernardo. Columna. Columna, one-hander. Yes! Now, that's only, believe it or not, that's only the 4th point of Air Force in the second half. Oop, error, but it will stay. Last touch on a Air Force player. A great read and a very brave drive there by Columna. Alright, they give it to the post and a double. A great help defense, and Columna will not be denied this time. So now we can safely say that the scoring percentage of Air Force has gone up because they are now converting those point-blank shots. And another steal! Another steal! Momentum has shifted to Air Force. Columna using the screen. Almazan with the roll. Almazan. Jumper. No! Good box out. Rebound by the Lady Generals. And ball tap. Good defense again by Taguig. Like what I mean, by Air Force. Look at this. All alone. And that Gatorade fast break was brought to you by Gatorade. Nothing beats Gatorade. Yep. 2 points for Columna. It was like she was driving and she was piloting an F-15 on the way to the basket. Miranda thinking the pass takes it herself, but steal, another steal completed by the Air Force. And now they will reset. They will do the half-court set. Ortega, yes! Lead is down to 6 from a high of 11. Let's see how Taguig will react. Gloriani using the screen. Gloriani offline. Ball stays with Taguig. Shot clock down to 11. That's a good thing to do, okay? You see the activity of Luwalhati. So many moves. She was very active, and because she was so active, she was able to fish a foul. Luwalhati. Ah, another turnover. Turnovers are really hurting Taguig in this third quarter. But they're still on top. Scoop shot. Ah, good defense there. And their defense is saving them. I'm talking about the Taguig Lady Generals. They are throwing the ball away, but they make it up quickly. Spin by Luwalhati is short. Offensive rebound, Miranda. 10 rebounds now by Gemma, but she still has stuck at 9. Taguig will use the screen. Taguig will attack. Taguig, yes! Lead is down to 4. A 7-0 run by the Air Force. Possibly even more with the way they're playing defense. Up! Another turnover! But a color steal! Duazo, though, taking too much time to react, and Duazo draws the foul. Paulson Buendia. Meanwhile, here's that earlier shot that made it a 4-point game. So very important free throw here coming from Duazo. And that stops the run by the Air Force. So now more breathing room here for Taguig after that. So by Duazo. But the ball will stay with Air Force. Peñaranda on defense, but Buendia shows her a thing or two. Galicia to Peñaranda. Peñaranda. Shot clock down to 9. Peñaranda forcing the shots, he draws the foul. Alright, before that foul by Buendia, she scored on this beautiful spin move off the defense of Peñaranda. Now it's the turn of Peñaranda to earn her points from the stripe. And another miss. So I guess free throws are not exactly working for both teams in this game. Lots of misses. And like what I said earlier, with a tight game like this, with a slow scoring pace, all those misses are magnified. Meanwhile, a steal by Del Carmen. Del Carmen will wait for her teammates. Finds Luwalhati. Bacaro to Luwalhati. Nope. Battle for it. It's won by Del Carmen. Del Carmen. They cross the timeline, but Luwalhati gets into a leather lock with Bernardo. So let's see, where will this be? At the center circle? Yes. It will be at the closest circle, so it will be the center circle. It's going to be a center circle jump. Won by the Air Force. Columna will give it to Bernardo. Almazan. Almazan showing her footwork. Columna. Yes. All right, down to 3. This is the closest that Air Force has gone to just a 1-possession game. Del Carmen. Bounce pass to Galicia underneath, but Galicia could not convert. Another miss. And a foul called on Bacaro. Of course, this is the shot that made it a 3-point game by Columna. Almazan. Spin blocked by Luwalhati, but it's a foul on Luwalhati. Take a look at it again. Yep, there was a foul. There was contact underneath. So at the line, Ambi Almazan. Shot! Wow! That should be on our highlights. Put that on our highlight reel. And that has, the crowd has suddenly gone alive here at Malolos. 39 all. Look at that again. Look at this circus shot by Air Force. Another angle. Wow. No, you can see, look at that. You can look at that so many times, it will still be enjoyable. Ooh, Peñaranda could not break the tie. 50 seconds left in the third quarter. Luwalhati will sit down. Manuel will replace her. Second one coming here for Peñaranda. Oh, we're still tied at 39, but Manuel with the offensive rebound, announcing her arrival. For the Air Force. Lead! No. Manuel with the rebound. All right, last shot time. Almost the same. Shot clock and game clock. Bacaro. Cross court. Ventura. Ventura. Last second dish. Oh, she should have taken it herself. All right, no more shot clock. Columna. Game clock down to 4. All block. And there's a foul by Del Carmen. So chance here for Air Force to grab the lead with this trip to the line by Avila. So this is for the lead. No, the last time and the only time, yes, before this, the only time that Air Force was leading was 2-0. It has been all Taguig ever since, but now momentum is clearly on the side of the Air Force. They are now on top by 1. Still on top by 1. They have to fire. No. And what a dramatic third quarter. The PSI Air Force Lady Air Defenders coming back to seize this 1-point lead. That's right, a 15-3 scoring run towards the end. Anchored on plays like this by Karen Columna. And also Fria Bernardo. You know, just entertaining the crowd with that shot. And that's our score. Air Force on top by 1. You wouldn't want to miss the fourth quarter. Stay with us and we'll give that to you this entirety after this commercial break.
WNBL, 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 bayan, kababaihan at ang lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL.
Again, shout to the crowd here. Of course, our hardworking EVP, Miss Rose Montreal. The fans, yes, our beloved fans are back here in the WNBL in the NBL. And on your screens, the Philippine Army Lady Battalion warming up in preparation for their game against the Go for Gold Navy Lady Sailors. That should be a good one. Army versus Navy. A long-standing rivalry, no, not just in basketball, but in many aspects. Okay, fourth quarter underway, and Carla Manuel restores the lead to Taguig on that stab. But then again, this is a very different Air Force. Look at their scoring by quarters. That third quarter alone, look at that, 19-11 by the Air Force to turn the tide. All right, they can get the lead back in this possession. Columna. This is a very different Air Force that we're seeing right now. Oh, referee says play on. The ball hit the ring in time. That's why there's no shot clock violation. The play continued. Then Avila with the putback. And just as we predicted, the shooting clip of Taguig really going south in that third quarter. Their shooting percentage is down to only 30.6%. Compared to 38% from the halftime. I mean, that's 8 percentage points down. And we'll talk more about that after this commercial break. Stay with us for more of the 2022 WNBL. Again, more of our beloved fans. We really miss these fans. I mean, 2 years, the NBL and WNBL did not play with fans. Of course, our EVP, Miss Rose Montreal, her hard work has finally bore fruit. And because of that, the fans, yes, our beloved fans are back in the stands to cheer their hearts out for their favorites. So if you have the time, if you're in the area, if you're nearby, you can drop by the Bulacan Provincial Capital Gym and see the action live for free. That's right. Admission is absolutely 100%, no doubt about it. It's free. All right, chance here for Taguig to get the lead back. We have a seesaw battle here. Peñaranda too strong. And that's the shot clock. So this is a chance for Air Force to establish their biggest lead. Of course, I said earlier, their only lead of this game was 2-0 at the start. It has been all Taguig until now. Of course, Air Force bouncing back with that mighty third quarter. And a push. It's on Peñaranda, her second personal foul. So Duazo will spell Peñaranda. I guess Coach Lucena wants to preserve her for the crucial stretch. Almazan at the post against Manuel. Youth versus experience. And a steal completed by Manuel. It's with Doriani. Doriani says, I want to clear out. Duazo asking for it. She gets it. Duazo. Ventura. Del Carmen She will use the Manuel screen. Del Carmen, hounded by the taller defender. Manuel! No! It's Air Force ball. Almazan. Almazan, the tallest player, bringing down the ball. Oh, cross-court pass. Too deep, but Almazan is there, and Almazan is fouled. Let's see, most likely by Duazo. Oh, but Duazo can heave a sigh of relief. The foul is on Carla Manuel. It will mean free throws for Almazan. So this is now, well, this ties the biggest lead of Taguig, 2 points. I mean, of Air Force, rather. They are now top by 2, and if ever, this could be the biggest lead if Almazan is successful. 2 for 2 for Ambi, so this is now the biggest lead for the Air Force. 3 points, 44 to 41. I mean, Taguig has been in control since the first quarter. But of course, it's not how you start, it's how you finish that counts. Siat sees the opening, passes to the corner. Kapilit. No. So again, another chance for Air Force to pad their lead. Paig. Almazan. Patient ball movement here by the Air Force. Bernardo. Almazan for 3. Short. Battle for it. Oh boy. You wouldn't want to be there. All that activity. Yeah, you can say fists and elbows flying everywhere. That's how intense this game is. Yep. Look at that. All those fists and elbows flying, even a few kicks along the way. Whereas these ladies will do everything for the win, that's for sure. This is professional basketball. I mean, it's a different level here. This is what they call play for pay. And these ladies are playing not just for their pay, they're also playing for their honor. The honor of their team, the honor of their families, the honor, their own self-honor. Duazo taps it, but it's controlled by the Air Force. Bernardo will use the high screen. Bernardo hits the rim. An authoritative rebound by Miranda. And Miranda is fouled by Almazan. She gets hit in the face. And referees gives the sign for unsportswomanlike foul. Oh yes, she was hit. She was hit on the face. Very clear. Take a look at that another angle. Oh yes, that was a clear hit. And if ever, this could mean a 3-minute rest, a forced 3-minute rest for Almazan, which will be very crucial, considering we have 6:48 left, and if ever it will be imposed, she can only return at the 3:48 mark. And with the way this game is being played, I mean, you need all your best players on the floor at every second possible. Okay. Referees confirm. So it's a flagrant foul penalty 1 on Almazan. And because of that, yes, she has to sit on the bench for 3 playing minutes. So she can only return when the clock says 3:48. So it will mean 2 free throws for Gemma Miranda plus ball possession for Taguig. So this is a big development here. First one is good for Miranda. lead of Air Force down to 2. Split, so it's still a 2-point lead, but Taguig will keep possession, so they can either tie or go ahead depending on the result. 40-second shot clock to work with for the team in white. Sideline inbound. Gloriani receives. Miranda. Inside. Gloriani. No. Rebound won by the Air Force. Bernardo. Met by Gloriani. First one is good. So Taguig counting with more height. So they noticed that the Air Force has been putting a much taller defender on their ball carrier. So they want a tall ball carrier in Monique Del Carmen. Paig. Resultay. Bernardo. Faking. Columna popping out. Oh, what a cold-blooded 3! By Columna. Five-point lead for the Air Force. Down to 3 on this basket by Duazo. Taguig not giving up. They are still in the fight. Season hounding Bernardo. Resultay. Back to Bernardo. They lob it inside to the post. Handoff. And a miss. Cleared by Miranda. Duazo will attack. Drop pass. Oh, yes. Very unselfish play by Duazo, resulting in 2 easy points for April. It's just a 1-point lead, folks. Hang on. We got a ball game in Malolos. The defense has just tightened a bit. Floater, no. Duazo with an authoritative rebound. Miranda. She could not beat the double. We have a whistle. Things are heating up here in Bulacan. Take a look at it again. Of course, the Miranda forcing the issue against 2 defenders. And look at the hustle of everybody. That's our score. We'll be back for more of your WNBL. Stay there, please. On your screen, that's Karen Bernice Columna. Look at Columna. 3-pointer. I mean, Columna has just, she has breathed life into the campaign of Air Force. She has been all over the court. And look at the numbers here of Karen. 11 points. 5 of 12 shooting from the field to go with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, a little bit of everything there for Karen. So 14 on the shot clock here for Taguig. They will inbound at the sideline. Del Carmen. Shot clock winding down to 9. Duazo still thinking about it. Duazo. Season! Yes! Big basket there by Season. Lead is down to 1. The pressure is on the Air Force. What? All right, we are looking at the huddle of the Taguig Lady Generals, and we can see that Coach Bing Victoria is offering his insights, mapping out some plays to help out Coach Robin Lucena. Meanwhile, Gemma Miranda has been the story for Taguig on both ends of the floor. And these are the numbers for Gemma Miranda so far. Gemma, she has 15 points, 12 rebounds, double-double. So a prime candidate for Surge Fitness Best Player, Gemma Miranda. If ever, this will be her back-to-back Surge Fitness Best Player Award. Duazo to Miranda. Miranda, well, she dribbled too high, tried to save it, but to no avail. Almazan. They cross the timeline. Bernardo. Avila. Almazan. Top of the key. Bernardo. Faking. Bernardo against 2 defenders. And Bernardo draws the foul. That's only the second foul on Miranda. And another thing to note, both teams are not yet in the penalty. 3 team fouls each for Taguig and the Air Force with 3 minutes and change left in the fourth quarter. Oh, what a big miss there by Bernardo. They're only on top by 1 point. And the more they need this free throw. Second one coming here for Bernardo to give them some breathing space. Ooh, 2 misses by Bernardo. All right, chance here for Taguig to get the lead back. Siat. Oh, steal by the Air Force. Columna says, take it easy. Avila. Bernardo. Bernardo still. To Resultay for 3. Off the rim. Rebound, Del Carmen. All right, Siat has it. We're looking for a teammate. They cross the timeline. Open 3. No! Almazan, big rebound. They are still on top by 1, talking about the Air Force. Resultay spin. And too much spin there for Resultay. Wow. We really need this timeout to catch our breath. Timeout, Generals, and we'll be back for more of your WNBL. Stay there, please. And power move inside by Ambi Almazan. Of course, Ambi has been the pillar of strength for the Air Force underneath. There you see Ambi Almazan, the veteran, 1 point away from a double-double. And like what I said earlier, Ambi Almazan, a veteran of the Philippine women's national team. She has proudly represented our country in world competitions. Oh, well read by the defense. Big turnover here. Good stop by the Air Force. Avila, handled by the defense. Oh, steal by Galicia. Galicia, last 2 minutes. Extra pass. Del Carmen! Oh, Monique Del Carmen traveled. And this last 2 minutes is brought to you by Converge. Take it at it again. Del Carmen with the cut, but too many steps for Monique. A blown opportunity there for the Lady Generals. And that opens the door for the Air Force to come back. Remember, only 1 point separating them. We'll be back after this commercial break. Stay with us. And welcome back to Live Action. Anthony Cervino here at the courtside of the Bulacan Capital Gymnasium in Malolo City. 1 point lead for the Taguig Lady Generals, 50-49 over the PSI Air Force Lady Air Defenders. It has been a seesaw affair here in the fourth. Now, we thought this game would be turned into a blowout, but both these teams making things interesting here in the fourth quarter. Resultai will do the inbound. Almazan receives. Almazan hemmed in by the defense. Almazan with the fake. Almazan gives the lead back to the Air Force. (51-50). Del Carmen. Patient basketball here by Taguig. Extra pass. Siat! No! Wow! Big break here for the Air Force. Resultai. Bernardo. Avila popping out. Back to Resultai. Bernardo. Almazan asking for it at the post. Instead, she gives up the screen. Almazan. Oh, Perez is blocked. And the shot clock expires. It will go the way of Taguig. Yes, no shot. There was no shot. The clock continued to run. All right, that's that. Here's the earlier shot by Almazan that gave the lead. And we'll be back after this commercial break. Stay with us. This is exciting. You're watching the WNBL. And on your screens, that's the Army, the Philippine Army Lady Battalion on standby for their matchup against this team, the Go for Gold Philippine Navy Lady Sailors. And again, the long-standing rivalry between these two services from our armed forces will be continued. But before that, we have 1 minute left in this game, which is far from decided. We have the Air Force, the Philippine Air Force Lady Air Defenders, hanging on to this 1-point lead over the Taguig Lady Generals. Again, this has been an exciting game to say the least. We thought this would be a blowout, but Air Force coming back to make this game a thriller here in Malolos. So chance here for the Lady Generals to go ahead. 40 seconds on the shot clock. Duazo has it. Duazo will attack. Duazo! Well, Duazo wanted to draw the foul, but instead she misses. So look at this, Air Force displaying it slow. Resultai, quite far from the basket. Good defense here by Duazo. Shot clock says 13. Resultai will attack! Resultai! Wow! Cindy Resultai sacrificing her own personal safety for those points. Take that again. Look how brave Resultai attacked the basket. No regard for her personal safety. She will give up everything just to win. Of course, we know Resultai is made of strong materials. Bonus free throw coming here for Resultai. Yes! 4-point lead. That easy for the Air Force. Taguig will call time. And we'll be back for the conclusion of this game. Stay with us. You're watching the exciting WNBL. Of course, if you're joining us only now, Cindy Resultai, 7 points, 9 rebounds, but the last 3 points of Cindy Resultai, just before we went to timeout, gave Air Force a 4-point lead, 54-50, a very crucial 3-point play there by Cindy Resultai. So let's see how Taguig will react. They need something out of this timeout. Goriani, no! They keep it alive. And we have a foul. So Almazan fouls Miranda. So 2 free throws here for Gemma Miranda. 2 pressure-packed free throws. She needs 2 for 2. First one is good. And they really need the second to put the pressure on the Air defenders. Very important free throw. Yes, 2 for 2 for Gemma. Double-double for Miranda. And Air Force wanting to call a timeout. Okay. And we'll be back after this timeout. Stay with us for the exciting conclusion of this game. course, when you talk about the Air Force, the PSI Air Force Lady Air Defenders, they have been carried in this game on the broad shoulders of Ambi Almazan. Meanwhile, that's been all Gemma Miranda. Look at the numbers of Gemma. 17 points, 13 rebounds. You can say that she is a woman on a mission in this game. Okay, Almazan has it against Peñaranda, but Peñaranda steals the ball. It's weird that Del Carmen, back to Peñaranda, crosses the timeline. Peñaranda attacking! No! Fouls on Avila. Oh, but they get the offensive rebound. Oh, Peñaranda will be tested again from the free throw line. Fouls on Almazan. So here's the miss by Peñaranda. Ball is loose. And Peñaranda with the offensive board and the foul. Okay, so Peñaranda finally nails a free throw. Now this is very important. She has to make this. She has to make this. All eyes on Snow Peñaranda. Yes! We are tied at 54 all. And we will hang on to the air. Our game clock says 25 seconds. There's a 1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. So now this will be a very interesting huddle for the Taguig Lady Generals. As you see in your screens, hello to our chairman, Mr. Celso Mercado. Welcome to Malolo, sir. Nice seeing you again. That's the chairman, Mr. Celso Mercado. Meanwhile, we will try to guess what Taguig is planning for this possession. They need a stop, okay? Of course, on the part of Coach Zuniga, they need to get the ball in play. Okay, the first things first, they need to get the ball in play, period. And let's see what Taguig will do. Very important for Air Force, they need a good inbound. If ever there is a chance, okay, there is a chance the ball will go back to Taguig. There's a 1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. So again, very crucial inbound here for Cindy Resultay. They also have to watch Resultay because there's a chance also that Resultay, the one conducting the inbound, will also be the one to receive the ball. Remember, a lot of time on the clock. Resultay will look for a teammate. Bernardo popping out. Met by Gloriani's defense. To the post, Almazan. Shot clock down to 7. Down to 5. Almazan. Oh, Almazan is blocked. Oh, Peñaranda called the timeout. Peñaranda called the timeout. We will see first how many seconds will be put on the clock. But first, here's the beautiful block by Duazo. Very clean block. And the ball just drops into the waiting hands of Snow Peñaranda. And Peñaranda, great presence of mind to call a timeout. But we will see, okay, we will see how many seconds will be put on the clock. Okay? It says 11.7 seconds. That is a lot of time, ladies and gentlemen. Again, good presence of mind by Peñaranda to call the timeout. And there, we have 11.7 seconds on the game clock. That is a lot of time, I tell you. Wow. All right, big inbound here for Gemma Miranda. advantage, the height and length advantage. But again, the question is, who will she tap the ball to, if ever? Very well, they are reviewing. The referees are just reviewing something. They want to make sure how much time will be put on the clock. Okay? They want to review. Again, the game clock right now says 2.1 seconds. Okay? But now, they have made the adjustment. It's now 3.2 seconds on the clock. So that's an additional 1.1 seconds. And this should open the window a little more for both these teams to win in regulation. On your screens, Coach Alvin Zuniga in deep thought. Same can be said for Coach Robin. Air Force won the tap, but they wanted to call a timeout. Let's see. Let's see if the referees will award the timeout. They will review. Let's see if the timeout, the request for timeout, came within the time frame. Here it is again. All right. Here's the jump. Okay. Okay, there is still some time left. So the ruling is 0.5 of a second left. So timeout, possible catch and shoot here. No more dribble. You got half a second to work with. So this is going to be a very thrilling finish. It's 0.5. Half a second. So catch and shoot. No more time to dribble or pass. Okay, Taguig, they have to be careful with their defense. A foul here will be fatal. That's right. The reminder for Taguig, play honest defense. Do not give up a foul. On the part of Air Force, good inbound catch and shoot. So it's going to be Bernardo to do the inbound honors. Expect to lob it to their taller players. Lots of movement. They lob it inside as expected. Too strong. We go into overtime. That's right. 40 minutes is not enough. We need 5 more to settle the score. And we'll be back with those 5 minutes after this commercial break. You're watching the exciting WNBL. We'll be back.
WNBL, Tuwing na bayan ka, pabalihan ang anak lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL. Tuwing na bayan ka, pabalihan ang anak lumaban. WNBL,
Like what I said earlier, 40 minutes is not enough, and we have bonus basketball here at the Bulacan Provincial Capital Gymnasium. 5 more minutes to settle the score. We are tied at 54 all between the Taguig Lady Generals and the Philippine Air Force Lady Air Defenders. And the first possession of overtime is with the Air Force. They had a chance to win it, but the lob play did not work. Look at the field goal shooting in that fourth quarter. So this explains it. You know, the shooting clip of Taguig has just gone down and down as the game progresses, and that has been the reason why Air Force has taken advantage and they were able to make the game exciting. We have a foul. So after regulation, look at the shooting clip of these two teams. Air Force shooting 26.9% compared to 29.7% for Taguig. But here's an interesting stat. Look at the rebounds. 55 for Taguig, 53 for Air Force. Leading scorer, of course, for Air Force, we have Almazan and Columna with 11 points each. On the part of Taguig, Gemma Miranda, the lone player in double figures with 17. But right now, momentum has clearly shifted the way of Air Force. Now they have slowly, come back. Taguig was leading by 11 points, 34-23. That was sometime in the third period. But of course, Air Force, they come roaring back to force overtime. Peñaranda, yes! So first basket in overtime by Snow Peñaranda. Well, in the fourth quarter, Snow missed a couple of crucial free throws that could have, changed the outcome and no more need for overtime. But then again, that's how the ball bounces. Bonus basketball, as they say. Free basketball here in Malolos, Bulacan. Well, when you think about it, this is really free because, again, I'm inviting everybody. If you're in the area, come here to the Bulacan Capital Gymnasium. Admission to all the NBL and WNBL games is 100%, absolutely, no strings attached, free. And speaking of free, Columna converting on that free throw. And a split by Columna. So in a game like this, that miss is crucial for sure. Del Carmen missing, but Miranda with 19 points to lead all scorers. 19 points and 14 rebounds. Look at this, Gloriani. Unselfish play. Recognizing Gemma Miranda. That's a sign that you trust your teammates, which is very important if the team wants to rack up those wins. Look at the points in the paint, even 26 all. Of course, that's why we're in overtime, 54 all. The stats, the stats at regulation. When I scan the stats, it's fairly even. That's why we were tied at 54 all at regulation. But now, Taguig with this 3-point lead. Make that a 5-point lead now on that hit by Siat. 60-55. Let's see if Air Force can get their second win. Avila to Almazan. Bernardo. Columna for three. This will be big. No. Almazan's capering for it. She gets it. Fresh shot clock here for the Air Force. Bernardo attacks. Bernardo, yes! First field goal for Air Force in the overtime. After almost over 2 minutes. Here it is again. This is the first field goal of Air Force. Of course, the other points of Air Force from the free throw line. And that's the 6th foul on Buendia. And she calls it a day. And she will now prepare for their next game, which will be tomorrow. Yes, they have a game tomorrow here in Bulacan. They will be, if I'm not mistaken, they will be playing, well, we'll check our schedule later on. They have a game tomorrow, that's for sure. All right, Bernardo. 3 points separating these two teams. Bernardo will attack. Oh, but the pass is well read by the defense. Miranda with the steal. Miranda igniting the break. Miranda to Del Carmen. Wow. Of course, these two players, they are candidates. They are candidates for our national team to the Southeast Asian Games. They were teammates in college at National University. And you can see the chemistry between them. All right. Oh, yes. Del Carmen completing the three-point play. Lead is up to 6. 63-57. Air Force still very much in the fight. Three-pointer. No! Another miss. And another crucial rebound here by Taguig. Foul in the backcourt given up by Columna on Gloriani. So free throw time here for Gloriani. This will pin down the Air Force more as the fans clap in approval. Second one coming. 2 for 2 for AJ. 8 points now is the lead of Taguig. Timeout called here by Air Force. And we'll be back for the remainder of this overtime. And we'll be back for more of your WNBL. It's exciting. You know, we've been talking a lot about how Gemma Miranda has been dominating the stats. Look at April C at 8 points, 6 rebounds. Of course, Gemma cannot do it all alone. She needs help. And April has been filling that role very well. Again, 8.6 rebounds for Siat. Meanwhile, Resultay, another sorry miss here for Air Force. Gloriani, shovel pass to Del Carmen. But Del Carmen will apply the brakes. Pressure on the ball carrier. Miranda, double. It opens up Del Carmen. Del Carmen to Siat. Oh, sorry, miss. Gloriani. And they will try to melt more clock. Del Carmen. Siat. Siat. No. And the door is still open for Air Force. They need to convert badly in this possession. Look at in the overtime, the Generals have outscored the defenders 11-3. They need this. Oh, another miss. The misses are piling up for Air Force. And Miranda says, take it easy, guys. And she calls a timeout. And we'll be back for the final 43.6 seconds of this game. You're watching the 2022 WNBL. On your screen, the Philippine Army Lady Battalion up next. The Lady Battalion will face the Go for Gold Philippine Navy Lady Sailors, and that should be a good one. I'm sure about that. All the games in the WNBL are good. Del Carmen with the inbound to Gloriani. Gemma. Oh, to the cutting Gloriani! No! That could have been the dagger. Another chance for Air Force. They have to move quickly though. High screen. Almazan. Avila for 3. No! And Taguig will just painfully melt the time away. This is the dagger! Yes. Del Carmen delivering the dagger. 10-point lead. We're just waiting. Another steal by Miranda. Miranda to Miranda. Untrusted play for Gemma.
WNBL, 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 WNBL. Oh, hindi na bayan ka, pabalihan na tayo lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL. WNBL, 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 WNBL. Oh, hindi na bayan ka, pabalihan na tayo lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL. WNBL, 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 WNBL. Oh, hindi na bayan ka, pabalihan na tayo lumaban. WNBL, 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 WNBL. WNBL, 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 WNBL.
And we're back. That's our score. 69-57. A dozen-point win for the Taguig Lady Generals over the Air Force Lady Air Defenders. Of course, our best player brought to us by Surge Fitness and Lifestyle. No other than Gemma Miranda of the Taguig Lady Generals. Of course, these are the baskets of Gemma. Of course, Gemma was all over the playing court. Offense, defense, and a little more. Wow, Gemma, look at their numbers. Gemma, double-double. Pero let's talk about this game, no? Pag-usapan natin itong laro na to. You know, for those long-time fans of the WNBL, alam nila na, you know, before, player ka ng Air Force. In fact, Finals MVP ka noong 2019 WNBL Finals playing for Air Force. But now, nasa kabila ka na. Paano to nag-serve sa iyong personal motivation entering this game?
Coming into this game, siguro ano lang po, ginagawa ko lang kung ano yung sinasabi ng coaches. Nilaro ko lang kung ano yung laro ko kasi gusto ko rin manalo, gusto kong tumulong sa team. At ayun, nagbunga naman.
Speaking of bunga, ano yung feeling na, you know, yung mga kalaro mo ngayon, yung mga dati mong kakampi na nag-champion kayo? Anong feeling ng sina Ambi, sina Cindy, nasa kabilang team na?
Ate Ambi, Ate Dong, Ate Cindy, sobrang ano naman yan given na yan sobrang galing nila. China-challenge ko lang yung sarili ko para sa kanila. Nilalaro ko lang kung ano po yung dapat kong laruin at para makatulong sa team.
Grabe, with numbers like this, 19 points, 17 rebounds, no doubt, Gemma Miranda is our Kluberg best player of the game. Gemma, your chance to say thank you to all those who support your basketball journey.
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako kay God kasi kung hindi dahil sa Kanya, hindi namin makuha tong pangalawang panalo. At sa mama at papa ko na nasa heaven, mama pa, para sa inyo to. Sa family ko sa Davao, sa mga ate ko, kuya ko, yung mga pamangkin ko, yung mga kaibigan ko doon, yung mga tita-tito ko. At yung girlfriend ko nanonood dyan, si Hazel. Thank you at saka yung mga sumusuporta ng Taguig Lady Generals, mga boss namin, coaches, teammates. Hindi ko rin to makukuha hindi dahil sa kanila. Ayun lang po. Ako si Gemma Miranda, ang WNBL ang tunay na liga ng atletang Pilipina.
Alright, there you have it. Our Kuberg.
Ay, wait lang sir. Binabati ko rin pala
Ah.
yung Transcend family ko. Yung Transcend family ko, sorry. Sila Sir RC, Coach Pons, Ma'am Beth, si Coach George, at yung mga family, at Transcend family. Yun lang. Thank you.
Alright, there you have it, Gemma. You deserve to greet all those people. No? You are our Kuberg, best player of the game. Let's take a look at some highlights of Gemma in this game. Maybe, baka Gemma, you want to watch this also, Siyempre, of course, Taguig coming in this game undefeated, winning their first game. And, well, from the start, it was, well, Air Force scored the first basket, but it has been all Taguig. But in the first quarter, Taguig running away with that first quarter, 21-14. Of course, Gemma's good play has really affected. It has rubbed on to her teammates. That's her score, 21-14. And then, you know, after that torrid first quarter, the scoring pace, you know, it went down a bit in the second quarter. That's why both teams scored 7 points each. So no change, still a 7-point lead after at halftime for the Lady Generals, 28-21. Now here's the thing, the Air Force making their move in the third quarter. And if the veterans, Ambi Almazan, Cindy Resultay, Karen Columna taking over. And now before they know it, they were ahead by 1 entering the fourth. So this game is now interesting and exciting. Look at this, Columna continuing her hot streak from the third quarter. But of course, Taguig with a ready answer. Duazo, very unselfish play. Stats were fairly even after regulation. No surprise. Look at Resulta just sacrificing her body. And we were tied at 54 all. But in the overtime, well, the Generals found their second win as the Air Force started to miss. Of course, Miranda was a factor in all those plays. So she may not be scoring, but she has been facilitating. And that was the final basket by Peñaranda to set her score at 69-57. Congratulations to the Taguig Lady Generals, and we'll be back for our next game. It's gonna be a good one. Stand by for the Philippine Army Lady Battalion against the Gopher Gold Philippine Navy Lady Sailors coming up in a few minutes. Stay with us. You are watching the 2022 Women's National Basketball League. Stay there, please.